Guys, real quick, a lot of people are saying they're not seeing my videos pop up on YouTube. I just want to show you what you got to do here to make it easier outdoors. The channel will come up, click the channel, and see this little bell icon. Click that bell icon, and it'll say you'll be notified every time a video to this channel is uploaded. That's all you got to do, guys, if you want to see my videos every time we upload. What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode. This week I am focusing on hunting the rut. It's the first and second week of November. We headed down Montgomery County, Maryland. We have a leased farm down there. Went down there for a few days, ended up packing up. Didn't really see a whole lot of activity. Packed up, came home, hunted Baltimore County and Harford County. As always, guys, I appreciate you watching these videos. If you give this video a thumbs up, click the link in the description down below and subscribe to our channel. We did not actually catch a poacher. What we did was we were having a lot of problems with trespassers on this property, and while I was down there bow hunting the rut, I actually seen these guys come out here with this goose blind, and they came onto our property. Well, I had to follow the proper steps with this, so when we were down there the past weekend, I followed Jim out there with the drone, and we actually put a note on inside the goose blind basically saying that it had to be moved, trying to go about it the proper way. So we left a note there, and we're going to wait. We left our number as well, so we're going to wait and see if we can hear back from them. If not, then we'll have to take the next step. You know, one thing I'm going to let you guys know is the properties that I'm personally hunting are not my properties. They are properties that I pay to hunt on through somebody else that has a lease on the property. So the properties are not managed in any sort of way, which is not my preferred method. I would like to have my own property one day, which I am currently working on. So one thing to know is the rut in the areas that I hunt on has not really had a rut. When you have too many does in the area, the bucks are not going to travel. They don't have to travel as far to find a doe that's in estrus. So that's what we're seeing here. We're just seeing too many does, and it's not creating a heavy rut. Besides that, the temperatures have been warm. Most of the days I was hunting in a t-shirt, it was like 70 degrees. We're hunting Baltimore County, Maryland. It's been this way for probably over it's like 8 years. Back in like 15 years ago when I first started bow hunting, there was not as many deer, but now we're seeing that there's too many does in certain areas, and it does not create a heavy rut. Now, if you travel to the eastern shore of Maryland, there's not as many deer, and you see a heavier rut. It just depends on the area that you are hunting on. You can have a heavy rut on one side of the road and nothing on the other. It just depends what the buck to doe ratio is, the amount of pressure that's on the deer, and this is what we're seeing. This is what I'm seeing on these properties. So currently I am working on finding my own property. That way I can manage it, I can put in some food plots, and I can manage the buck to doe ratio. I did get to see and witness was some awesome grunting from these deer. A lot of vocalization coming from this buck and these does. I was hunting on the edge of a field, and where this field was the previous day, I seen a giant. It was like probably, I think it was a 10-pointer. He was probably like a 130 or 140, which is big for that area. And I ended up moving my tree stand over there, and right before dark, maybe I had like 15 minutes of shooting light left, I heard something to my left. I heard a grunt, and I look over, and this small little 8-pointer, he come out, and he was chasing these does out, and there was probably, I think, like 10 or 12 does out in the field. Well, I had placed 3 antlerized ghost wicks out in the field about 30 yards out in front of me, and I had soaked them in doe and heat, and these does came out. They came right to it. They were sniffing it, and a couple minutes later, this buck came up behind them, and he was chasing them all through the field, and I got to hear some awesome grunting, awesome vocalization going on. It was pretty cool because, like I said, when you're hunting these areas where there's so many does, a lot of times you don't get to witness this, and it was a good evening as far as that goes. Was unable to harvest anything, but I did get to see some good chasing going on.